For the second part of our shaving cream scream, we have to spoof the scream, which means your picture needs to be set up really similarly to the original. You're going to have different things in it, but some things have to stay the same. Like the picture needs to be portrait view, not landscape. It needs to go up and down like the real thing. You're going to have something that's using linear perspective, so we'll have a vanishing point over here on the edge, and you'll have a couple lines to show either this is a road or it's a bridge or something going off in the distance. We're drawing very, very little with pencil. So vanishing points over on the side, draw one line that heads down the opposite side. Then I want mine to be a bridge by the water. So pivoting my ruler, draw another line. So I've got two lines, makes a couple triangles. Then I'm going to need rails. And just like we learned previously this year, things that are close to you are going to be bigger. Things that are far away are going to be smaller. My rails have to be vertical. They have to go straight up and down and be parallel with the side of the page. If you have fence here instead of rails by the water, it needs to be vertical. If it was sidewalk, your lines would go a different direction. Okay, then just drawing, this has to be the horizon, so there's where my water ends. And I'll use a little bit of oil pastel there in a little bit. Then my figure at the background is going to end up being a silhouette. And that means, like in Munch's picture, it's going to just be black. You're not going to see any details on my person. Okay, clown balloons, done. And then up front, this figure has to be much larger, and part of it's going to go off the page, just like on the scream. So it's going to have a girl screaming. So this person might have a little more detail, but not much more. And we're not going to spend the whole class sketching. This should be a very quick sketch, honestly, where it takes you like 15 minutes or less. And then you can jump into the oil pastel. So I've got a little girl running away from the clown. Then I want my horizon line to show up, so I'm going to put a little bit of orange on here so it kind of matches my ocean. And we're using oil pastels for my scary clown who gives you the heebie-jeebies. As I mentioned, it's going to be a silhouette. So I'm coloring him in solid black. Clown's done. Before I get too far, I do want to take care of the background. Would have made more sense to do the background first, and then Mr. Clown last. So yes, we're going to color over part of your beautiful shaving cream marbled picture. And since we're using oil pastels, we can blend our colors. So use your good friend, the color wheel. Find those analogous colors, colors that are next door to each other. And that will help you figure out what colors will make sense in your picture. And also, I want these to look like boards. So I'm going to find my vanishing point again. And lightly trace. And I can always bump and jump over my person if I needed to. So it looks like she's walking on a boardwalk by the beach, and there's this creepy guy walking behind her. We're not sure why. And when you do work on your figure up front, please do the big stuff first and the little stuff last. And if you lay the oil pastel on thick enough, as you can tell, it's kind of covering up the shaving cream underneath. If the oil pastel is too dirty, get a piece of scrap paper and just rub on it a few times, and that'll make the dirt come off of the oil pastel. So I'm doing all the big stuff first, and then I'll go back in on my detail. Alright, I've got my girl that's running away screaming from the clown off in the distance. And one more thing we can do. A lot of kids don't like the white spots the oil pastels leave behind. So we can take a container with baby oil and a Q-tip, start in the light areas first, and then you go to the dark areas, and you can gently, very, very gently, rub with the baby oil. If you rub too hard, yes, it's going to take off some of your oil pastel. And what this does is it wakes up the oil in the pastel and it kind of spreads it around to smooth things out. But you have to start with the light areas and then go to the dark areas. And now my screaming girl is done, and I've tried to make most of the white spots go away. Just please don't get hung up on the details. This is an expressionist picture, so our focus is on the feeling, not on little details on someone's shirt or anything like that. And back here, it doesn't have to be water versus sky. You could draw yourself some mountains with the oil pastels or grass. Just make sure we can still see the shaving cream in your sky.